Welcome to Yoga with Ashlyn. I'm Ashlyn, and for our practice today, we're going to work up towards a pose called Chapasana, also translates as Sugarcane Pose. It's kind of an interesting backbend variation. We'll also go after one of my favorite ways to do Partridge Pose, which is a sort of backbending version of side plank. So we'll be opening the chest a lot, opening the shoulders, and doing some nice full back bends. So you might want to have one or two blocks and possibly a strap if you know your quads are feeling tight today. We're going to start in Virasana, hero's pose, or you can also start in Vajrasana. So your options are to either point your toes like I'm showing you here, and you can sit back on your heels and then sit upright. You're also welcome to take either full hero's pose, taking your shins parallel and hips width, and then placing your sitting bones down in between the tops of your feet. Now, of course, this isn't necessarily going to be comfortable for everyone, so you might want to put one or even two of your blocks underneath your sitting bones in this shape. Good. And then you'll just rest your hands down onto your knees or your thighs. You'll sit up nice and tall and close your eyes. And take a moment to draw your attention within. Begin to tune into your inner life. Just notice how you're doing today. Noticing the breath and feeling the subtle back bend as you inhale. So you feel the shoulder blades move into the chest. And as you exhale, it's subtle, but feel the shoulder blades widen and the sitting bones drop. Now with your next inhale, circle your arms out and then up, palms together overhead. Exhale, draw your thumbs to your chest. One more time, inhale, stretch the arms out and up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, thumbs to chest. Good. Hands on your thighs, shift to Ujjayi breath, in and out through your nose. Narrowing your vocal cords, feeling the breath almost like a soft whispering sound as it drags across your throat with each inhale and exhale. Now blinking your eyes open. If you're here on a block with me, go ahead and lift your butt up, lose the block and set it aside. Now sit down and widen your right leg out to the right. Now, I want you to fold your left leg back into half hero again. So you're going to point your foot, frame your outer hip with the inner edge of your foot. Widen the space between your knees. You can also do this one with the sole of your foot against your inner thigh as an alternative. Now, flex your right toes up. Take your right elbow to your right inner thigh and place your palm down on the ground. As you next inhale, stretch your left arm up and over the left side of your face towards your right foot. So each inhale, think of getting longer through the left side of your torso. And with your exhale, you turn your left chest up to the ceiling. You might even crawl your right hand farther and farther away from your thigh. Each inhale, reach through your hand. And exhale, spin your left chest open. Maybe even look up under your bicep. One more time, full breath in to reach, full breath out to turn. Use your inhale to pull yourself back up to your seat and switch sides. Stretch your left leg out to the left and then fold your right leg back into half hero. So point your toes, frame your outer hip with the big toe side of your foot. Widen the space between your knees and then left elbow to left inner thigh, palm down on the floor. Inhale, stretch your right arm up and over the right side of your face towards your left foot. So as you inhale, you get longer through the right waist. Exhale, spin your right chest skywards, maybe look up. And a couple more breaths. Each inhale, reach through your arms, straighten the right elbow. And exhale, turn your chest open, maybe crawl the left hand farther away. If the foot is right there, you're welcome to grab it. One more breath. Next inhale, use your right arm to help you sit all the way back up. And then unfold your half hero leg. Now place your feet down on the ground, hips width and parallel. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders. Now your fingers can either face dead ahead towards your feet, or if your wrists feel a little tender, fan your hands out to the sides. But do spread your finger bones wide. Next inhale, push into your hands, lift your chest. Keep your inner hand flat on the ground and lift your hips up into table pose. Feel free to keep your chin tucked. You can look skywards, or if you relax the head back, do gaze down at your cheeks. Even if you go a little cross-eyed, that's fine. Drag your shoulder blades down your back and then try to drag your heels in towards your fingertips at the same time. Take a full breath in. Exhale, tuck your chin. Swing your hips forwards and down like you want your butt to touch your feet but not the floor. And then as you inhale, lift your hips back up. Now let's do that again. Tuck your chin, hips to heels. Try to keep the front of your torso just as long as the back. And then you inhale, lift your hips back up. Last one. Tuck your chin, swing your hips forwards and down. Inhale, lift your hips back up. Exhale, tuck your chin and sit your hips all the way down. Cross your shins and come onto all fours. So plant your hands down, shoulders width apart. Make sure that your index fingers are parallel. Push the floor away from you and stretch your left leg straight back behind you first. Curl the toes under. Feel how your big toe is tracing your inseam. Try to keep that and hug your right outer hip in. Keep that. Lift your straight left leg up. Lead with the inner thigh. And then bend your left knee and squeeze your heel in towards your butt. You might even get a little hamstring cramp. I want you to try to stick with it. Squeeze your heel in. Imagine you're carrying something really important between your shin and your hamstrings. Don't drop it. Squeeze even harder. Lift your knee higher. And then circle your right arm around and behind you and see if you can catch a hold of your foot, your shin, or your ankle. And if not, use your strap. Hug your knee to your midline. Kick up into your hand. Pull your thigh bone up. And then against that, I want you to try to knit your rib cage in and back. So a little bit of front of the core work. Spread your toes. Try to straighten your arm and leg. Big breath in. Exhale, gently let the foot go. Now, right hand down, straighten the left leg. Keep it in the air. Come onto your right shin and your right hand. Stretch your left arm up to the sky. So it's like a mini side plank or half moon. Now, bend your left knee. Reach back and grab the inner edge of your foot, shin, or ankle. Kick into your hand, press your chest forwards. If you're feeling really stable, you can even lean your head back like you want to close the loop. Huge breath in. Exhale, let your foot go. Lower your left hand, drop the left knee, and maybe shift your hips a little side side. And extend your right leg straight back behind you. Curl the toes under. So feel your hip, right hip neutral, inner thigh rolling up. Keep that, hug left outer hip in, and lift your right leg straight up. Inner thigh higher than outer thigh. Push into your hands evenly, bend your right knee, squeeze your heel to your butt. Again, I don't know what you are holding between your shin and hamstrings, but don't drop it. Let's say it's a traveler's check. You can't get those back. Squeeze it harder. Don't drop it. Lift your knee higher, right knee to your midline. Now stretch your left arm back behind you and go for your foot, whoopsies, your shin or your ankle. And then you kick into your hand, you hug your knee to your midline, and you try your best to straighten your arm and leg. But against that, you're engaging the front of your core. So low belly in, rib cage knits in and back. Huge breath in. Now exhale, let go gently. Try not to let it fling out. Place your left hand down, straighten the right leg, come onto left hand, left knee, and now right arm reaches up to the sky. Push down into your inner left hand, bend your right knee, reach back, grab the inner edge of your foot, shin, or ankle. Now engage the foot, kick back into your hand, press your chest forwards. Maybe even lean your head back like you want it to touch your right toes. Is the front of your core still online? Now, carefully come out, let your foot go, lower your right hand, lower your right knee. Now, with the hands still planted, shoulders width apart, step your feet back into plank pose. And by now, if you've taken any of my other classes, you've probably got an idea that I really love this pose. This is a great way to warm up fast. Feel your front body lifting to support your back body. Shoot your top sternum forwards. And do know you can always do this one with your knees on the floor. Feel like you're trying to make a wrinkle between your mat or between your thumbs on the mat. That's how much I want you to feel the forearms trying to drag together. And then roll your outer upper arms away from each other. Huge breath in, look forwards. Feel free to drop your knees. With your exhale, elbows straight back. Come all the way down onto your belly. Now point your feet, roll your inner thighs to the ceiling. Inhale, shoulder heads back, curl open into a baby cobra. And exhale, roll it down. Let's do that again. Inhale, traction your hands back, curl your chest up. Exhale, roll your chest down. Again, inhale, shoulder heads back. Feel the hands trying to drag back and out. Lift your chest. Exhale to the floor. Reach your arms back and either hook thumbs or interlace your hands. Bring your feet and legs all the way together or close. Lift your head and chest up. Roll your shoulder heads back. Straighten your arms. Lift your straight legs up. Roll inner thighs higher than outer thighs as you spread your toes. Use the power of your upper back to lift your chest even higher. Those of you who can easily clasp, I want you to feel like you're trying and not succeeding at pulling your thumbs apart. Huge breath in. Exhale, lower. Place your hands down next to your chest. Curl your toes under. Inhale. Exhale, maybe with the knees, push yourself up into plank. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Feel free to move around a little bit in this first down dog together. You can bike your legs out, maybe shake your head no and yes. And then find those same actions, right? So again, like you're trying to wrinkle the mat between your thumbs, try to drag the thumbs together. Against that, spin your biceps away from each other. And then keep on pushing the floor away. Drive your heels earthwards. You might even try lifting and spreading all of your toes to engage the fronts of the shins, and then put your toes back down. Now with your next inhale, lift your right leg straight up and back. Three-legged down dog. Exhale, bend your right knee, stack and open up your hip. Top of the left thigh bone pushes back. Inhale. Exhale, look forwards, step or help your right foot all the way through. Now take your left knee down. If you know your quads are tight, you're going to put a block down underneath your left hand. Otherwise, left hand on the floor or a block. Stretch your right arm up to the ceiling. And then reach your right arm straight back behind you. Bend your left knee and feel free to grab a strap for this. I want you to deliver your foot to your hand. So a little bit of a deeper quad stretch than the one we've already done. Gently guide your foot in towards your glutes and squeeze your top thighs together. Stay on your hand. Option to carefully drop to your left forearm. You might even do that with a block beneath the forearm. But do keep turning your chest open. Roll your right chest to the ceiling. Now, it might be a little spring-loaded, so be careful. Gently let your foot go. Curl your left toes under. Make sure your feet are in two separate lanes. Start with a soft bend in your left knee. And inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Come into Crescent Lunge. Now roll your left inner thigh back and zipper your top pelvis to the bottom of your chest. Keep that and maybe see if you can work your left leg a little straighter. Now reach your arms back and either hook a thumb or interlace your hands. As you inhale, try your best to straighten your arms, lift your chest. Exhale, keep your left inner thigh rolling back and up. Sink your hips, maybe pull your knuckles back and then up. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, knuckles reach towards your left heel, point your sternum skywards. Keep the low belly in. One more breath. Now next inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. And exhale, draw your hands together in front of your chest. Now start to bend your right knee more and shift your weight forwards over your right leg. Lean forwards. Now you might want to grab your two blocks for this. We're going to come up into Warrior 3. So either hands on the blocks or hands to heart. Shift the weight into your right heel. Lift your left leg up from the inner thigh. Shoot your top sternum forwards. Hug your right outer hip in. If you are here with me using blocks, try to stay very, very light with your hands, like you could lift them at any moment and nothing would change. Spread your left toes. Are you still tracing your left inseam, the inseam of your pants with your left big toe? Almost there. Big breath in. Now with your exhale, bend your right knee and try to keep the weight in the heel. Keep your lifted leg high. Push into your right heel. As lightly as you can, step into a lunge. Plant your hands and step back into plank. Inhale, shift forwards. Exhale, lower, partway or all the way, elbows straight back. Inhale, either cobra with your hips down or up dog, hips hover. Exhale from the top, thighs, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the ceiling, three-legged down dog. Exhale, bend your left knee, stack and open up your hip. Big breath in. Exhale, look forwards, step or help your left foot through. Bring your right knee down. Option to grab a block if you know your quads feel tight, maybe even a strap too. Plant your right hand under your right shoulder. Inhale, stretch your left arm up to the ceiling. And then reach your left arm straight back behind you. Bend your right knee and see if you can deliver foot to hand. Again, use a strap. It's an arm extender in yoga. Guide your foot in towards your glutes, making sure your foot is engaged, right? You'll notice there's a big difference between just kind of letting your foot relax. You might stretch some of the around your ankle. It might not feel that great. Or when you really engage the foot, the stretch moves up the chain. So we're not stretching at the joint. Maybe drop to the right forearm if you did so on the first side. Option to look up. Now let your foot go. Walk back up onto your hands. Curl your right toes under. Make sure your feet are in 2 lanes. Take a soft bend in the right knee. And inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. So roll your right inner thigh back. Zipper your top pelvis to your bottom chest. See if you can maintain that and then maybe work your right leg a little straighter. It might not straighten, that's fine. Now sweep your arms behind your back and either hook thumbs or interlace hands. Maybe switch the thumb on top. Inhale, try your best to straighten your arms and lift your sternum. Exhale, pull your knuckles up and then back to point your chest skywards. Could you drop your tailbone towards the floor? Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, pull your knuckles up and back. Maybe move your gaze up. One more breath. Inhale, look forwards and sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, draw your thumbs to your chest. Shift forwards, lean over your left thigh. Again, if you're with me, you might grab your 2 blocks. You can also keep your hands at your heart. Hands on the block, shift into your left heel. Keep your chest parallel to the floor. Stretch your right leg up. Lead with your right inner thigh. Hug left outer hip in. Shoot your top sternum forwards. You can always do this with the standing leg a little bent, but could you vigorously straighten your lifted leg, trace your midline with your big toe? Now, last breath, find one thing to soften. Now, start to move your gaze down, bend your left knee, but push the weight into your heel so the knee moves back. Keep your lifted leg high, and now as lightly as you can, step back into a lunge. Plant your hands and step to plank. Inhale, shift forwards. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows straight back. Inhale, open your chest. And back to downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Next inhale, shift forwards into plank. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your stomach. Good. And then next inhale, I want you to bend just your left knee first. We have a little feline visitor. This is 6. And then reach your left hand back. Now you can either do this with your right arm reaching overhead, or if possible, reach back with both hands and grab your foot, your shin, or your ankle. Start with your knees close together or even together. And then right away here, roll your shoulder heads back and press down into the top of your right foot, so much your kneecap might even lift. Start to lift your head and chest. Good. And then see if you can kick into your hand, and even if it's just a tiny little bit, could you lift your thigh off of the ground? Hug your inner knee to your midline. Lift your chest up even higher for 3. Option to lift the right leg up for even more for 2. Exhale, drop the foot, let go of your left leg, and come all the way down. Extend the leg. Turn your head to one side. Give your hips a quick little wiggle, side, side. Now take your head back to center. Bend your right knee. Reach your right hand back. Clasp your foot, shin, or ankle. And either stretch left arm overhead or reach back and grab your foot with both hands. Start with your knees together or very close to it. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Exhale, start to roll the shoulder heads back. Kick up into your hand. Try to lift your thigh bone up. Engage the lifted foot. Squeeze your knee to your midline and push into your left toenails. Maybe even lift your left leg up. Keep it straight. Inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. Let your foot go. Turn your head the other way and wiggle your hips out from side to side. Good. Now place your hands down next to your chest. Curl your toes under. Inhale. Exhale, maybe use your knees. Push yourself up into plank. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the ceiling. Three-legged down dog. Exhale, bend your right knee. Open up your hip. Think about putting the right foot down. We're not going to do it just yet. Inhale. Exhale, look forwards. Step or help your right foot through. Now this time, have a block handy and come into warrior two. Spin your left heel in and down. Reach your arms out into a T and look out over your right fingertips. Hug left outer hip in. Wrap right sitting bone down and under. Now flip your right palm up and exhale, reverse your warrior. Let your left hand just drift down the left leg as the right arm stretches up and back. Inhale into the right waist. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Option to shorten up your stance for Trikonasana, triangle pose. So hug your left outer hip in and then reach out as far as you can to the right, tipping your pelvis on its side. Right hand to shin, floor, big toe, or block. Take your left arm straight up to the ceiling. Lengthen the right ribs. Keep on pressing the top of your left thigh bone back. And again, are you still wrapping the right sitting bone down and under? You can even cop a feel. That's the beauty of home yoga. Touch your butt. Is it working? Now, move your gaze down and tuck your left arm behind your back and just leave it there on your waist. Bend your right knee. If you're using a block here with me, walk your block ahead of and outside of your right pinky toe or cup your hand. Keep your chest parallel to the wall across from you. Push into your right heel and then stretch your left leg up. So from here, you take the top of the left thigh bone and you try to drive it straight back. And you are still rolling the right sitting bone down and under, but here it feels like the right inner thigh is reaching towards the top of your mat. Now, bend your left knee. Reach back with your left hand, grab the inner edge of your foot, shin, or ankle. Here we are, Sugarcane Pose, just like we did earlier on the knee. You kick back into your hand, you press your chest forwards. And if you really want to challenge your balance, you lean your head back like you want to complete the circle. Squeeze something imaginary between your thighs so we don't abduct, move the left hip up too high. Now gently let the foot go, re-extend the leg, find your half moon pose. And now you're gonna look down, bend your right knee, but track the knee back. So you're pushing into the heel, lifted leg high, push into your right heel, step all the way back, warrior two, inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands to the floor, step back into plank. Inhale, shift forwards, exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And lift your hips up and back, downward dog. Notice what shifts each time we come into down dog. With these poses that we kind of repeat over and over again, it's a nice opportunity to just notice. Notice the effects of your yoga practice. What feels more open? Maybe something feels a little more tired. Are you breathing differently? Where's your mind at? Can you use sensation in the body to anchor your attention in the present moment? And in a way, that's kind of what yoga is really all about, right? Inhale your left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, bend your left knee, stack and open up your hip. Think about dropping the left foot back. We're not going to do it yet. Inhale. Exhale, look forwards, step or help your left foot through. Come into warrior two. Spin your right heel in and down. Inhale, stand up, reach your arms apart, gaze out over your left fingertips. Drive the top of your right thigh bone back into its hamstrings as you hug your right outer hip in so the pelvis is really upright. Inhale, flip your left palm up. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand drops down the right leg as the left arm reaches up and back behind you. Full breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten your left leg. If you did so on the first side, you can take a narrower stance. Firm right outer hip in, start to tip your pelvis on its side as you reach to the left. And then left hand to shin, floor, big toe, or block. Take your right arm straight up to the sky. Now try to lengthen the left ribs by almost doing like a little side crunch on your right ribs. Left sitting bone is wrapping down and under, so again, left glutes should feel firm. You can check. And do you need to externally rotate your left upper arm? So bicep spins to the left, so the left neck feels long. Now move your gaze down. Try to keep all those actions. Bend your left knee. Keep the weight in your heel. If you're taking a block, move it ahead of and outside of your left pinky toe. Now tuck your right arm behind your back. Keep your chest parallel to the wall across from you. Push into your left heel. Lift your right leg up. So outer ankle is kicking up. Top of the right thigh bone is pushing back. And you're lengthening the left ribs. Bend your right knee. Reach your right hand back, grab the inner edge of your foot, shin, or ankle. Now engage the foot, kick into your hand, push your chest forwards. Keep externally rotating your left upper arm, and then squeeze an imaginary something, I don't know what it would be, a huge beach ball, between your inner thighs. Maybe head back, last breath. Now, try not to let this be too spring-loaded. Let your foot go. Come back through half moon. Extend your arm, extend your leg, look down, bend your left knee, push the weight in your heel, keep your lifted leg high. As carefully as you can, step back. Warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands to the floor. Step to plank. Inhale, heart forwards. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Steady breath in and out. All right, you guys, next inhale, lift your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, bend your right knee, open up your hip. Now shift about halfway forwards into plank. Spin onto the outer edge of your left foot. Come into wild thing. Drop the ball of your right foot down behind your hips like a kickstand. Push into your left foot. Try to straighten that knee. Keep externally rotating your left upper arm. Right arm reaches up. Maybe right arm reaches back. Focus on your left hand. Are the fingers spread? Is every knuckle of every finger down? Lift your hips even higher. Big breath in. Now try to reverse that. Reach the right arm up. Start to drop your hips a little. Look forwards and then down. Lower your right hand. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Stretch your right leg up and back. Exhale, step or help your right foot all the way through. Now, left hand down next to your right instep. Inhale your right arm up to the ceiling. Hug your right outer hip in and back. Turn your chest open to the left and take the left shoulder blade out of your ear. Now just check and make sure, is your left wrist a little bit ahead of your shoulder? Make sure it's at least a tiny bit in front of the line of your shoulder. Now again, you're gonna spin onto the outer edge of your left foot. You've got this. Heel toe your right foot in so it's in front of your hips like a kickstand. And then step it behind you. Wild thing again. This time though, keep the sole of your left foot either down or stay on the outer edge of your foot. Now I want your hips parallel to the wall across from you so we're not turning the hips up. Now play with this. You can play with lifting the right foot. That might be your pose today. You might reach your right arm back. And even if this happens for 1/2 a second, you might reach back and find your foot. Now, if you find it, my cat is very bored with this. You kick into your hand, chest forwards, foot back. 3, 2, and that's enough. Let your foot go, look down, step to plank. Feel free to move through vinyasa or right back to your down dog. And you've just got one more short flow. You're almost there. Full breath in. Full breath out. Next inhale, stretch your left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, bend your left knee, open up your hip. Now shift about halfway forwards into plank, spin onto the outer edge of your right foot, sink the heel down. Get light on your left hand, step the ball of your left foot behind your hips like a kickstand. Now try to shine your chest up to the ceiling as you reach your left arm up. And maybe even start to reach your left arm back. You might even let your head go back. Push into your inner right hand. Sides of the neck feel long. Big breath in. Now try to reverse that slowly. Lift your left arm up, look down. Start to lift your left toes up. Bring your left hand down, spin onto the ball of your right foot. Stretch your left leg back up to the ceiling. Step or help your left foot through. Good. So feet in 2 lanes. You're high on the ball of your right foot to start. Plant your right palm down with your wrist slightly ahead of the shoulder next to your instep. Spread your fingers. Find the alignment now in your hand that you're looking for. Stretch your left arm up and open. Firm left outer hip in. Drag right shoulder blade out of your ear. Start to heel toe your left foot back so it's in front of your hips like a kickstand. Spin onto your right outer foot. And then play with this. See if you can step your left foot back again like a kickstand, but this time, instead of turning your hips up, you're keeping your hips parallel to the wall across from you. Play with lifting your left foot up. Maybe reach your left hand back. Maybe find your foot. Maybe you kick into your hand, pull your heel back, press your chest forwards. That's how you counterbalance the weight of the foot. Some of you might lean the head back. And that's enough. Let your foot go. Left hand down, step to plank. Feel free to take one last vinyasa. And back to downward facing dog. Come down onto your knees. Grab your 2 blocks. Make a little V with the blocks, like this. And most of you will probably want them on the medium height. Some of you may need it on the higher setting, depending on your height and body type. So I'm going to come into a child's pose with my knees together. And I'm going to take the blocks kind of just outside of my outer knees, going out in a V. What I'm trying to do here is get my upper arms and shoulder heads supported on the blocks so that my head can drop down in front of them. And what this does is it sets your shoulder blades on your back with no effort, which after today's practice should hopefully feel really nice. So arms are reaching back, palms face the ceiling. And so we went after some pretty big poses today, and these are the kinds of postures that, some might do these a lot over the course of their practice, and there are others who may never do, like say Partridge Pose. And so this is my friendly reminder that this whole practice, the point of it is not to be able to do poses. That's not why, in my opinion, we do yoga. Instead, if we can really think about the poses as a means to an end rather than the end themselves, that's a really, really awesome way to practice. Because it's really not about the shape of your body or the shape of your half moon. We're just using these challenging moments in the practice to know ourselves better so that we can more honestly evaluate, how do I react to something difficult? How do I react to something that comes easily to me? And the answer doesn't matter. It's the fact that we're here asking the question that really, really does. And start to lift your head up. I like to do this by putting my hands on the blocks and then pushing myself up. Move your blocks aside. Come onto your knees. Now turn your hands up. So I want your palms to face up with your fingers facing your knees. If this is way too intense, then just turn the hands in so they're facing each other. Now, if it's intense, you bend the elbows. If you want more intensity, straighten them. And if you can handle more and you want more, straighten them while leaning back, but try not to let your hands lift. Keep the fingers spread. And then shift forwards, hands come down. Sit over to one side and find a seat. And stretch your left leg straight out in front of you. Step your right foot down outside of your left knee. Keep the sole of your right foot on the floor and tent your right hand down behind your back. Either wrap your left arm over your knee or hook your elbow to your outer thigh. Pardon me. With each inhale, push into your right hand, get a little taller. Exhale, turn your chest to the right and maybe look back over your shoulder. Inhale, lift your chest. Now, as you send left shoulder blade into left chest, can you also widen that collarbone? So can you do both at the same time? Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, twist. Now move your gaze forwards, and then come out of the twist, and stretch your right leg out. And second side, step your left foot down outside of your right knee. Take your left fingertips behind your back, and either wrap right elbow over the knee, or hook to your outer thigh. Inhale, push down, lift your chest. Exhale, twist to the left, maybe look over your shoulder. So as you inhale, you reach through the crown of your head, try to get taller. Exhale, right shoulder blade into right chest, but simultaneously widen your right collarbone. One more breath. Now move your gaze forwards and then come out of the twist and stretch your legs out. So we're doing a little bit of a shorter practice, so I want to go right into a seated forward fold. If you prefer a happy baby, that would also work here. So what I'm going to do is kind of an interesting variation of Paschimottanasana and Upavishta Konasana sort of combined. So instead of having the legs together and straight, which you could also take as an alternative, I'm going to take my heels towards the top corners of my mat, so it's kind of halfway between those two folds. You can always keep a bend in the knees as needed. Maybe roll something under your sitting bones. With your inhale, get really tall, shoulders back, lift your chest. Exhale, lead with your chest. Keep the front and back of your torso equally long as you start to fold. Keep stretching your sternum bone forwards. Those of you that can hyperextend your knees, something that can be really helpful in a lot of forward folds really is to think about dragging your heels back towards your sit bones. Now in the last couple of breaths, you're welcome to kind of just drop your head, make it more of a plop, let it feel good. We've done a lot of back bends. It's okay to round a little bit. And then inhale to coil yourself up. Place your feet flat on the ground. Stretch your arms forwards, round your spine, and as slowly as you can, lower all the way down onto your back. And once you're there, stretch your legs out and let your feet just plop out to the sides. Rest your arms down beside you with your palms facing up. Close your eyes. Begin to let go of your Ujjayi breath. Just let your breath flow easily and effortlessly. And allow that soft feeling to spread into your whole body, feeling your muscles slacken and relax, grip on bones. And allow your bones to sink heavily into the floor. Take a couple of minutes just following your breath and taking rest. without changing or moving anything else just yet, take a full breath in through your nose and let it out of your mouth. And begin to invite some small movements into your toes, pointing, flexing your feet. Move your fingers, open and close your hands. And gently rock your head from side to side. Keeping your eyes closed and your attention drawn inwards. Bend your knees one at a time and roll to your right side into the fetal position. Once you've paused for at least a breath, push into your left hand. Come up to a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. And join your palms together, thumbs to chest. Bow your head to your hands. And take this last moment to acknowledge the time and effort invested into practice today. Lifting your head up. One more inhale together. And sigh it out. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.